Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. And today we've got two replays to show you in the Tier 9 French Tech Tree Light Tank, the AMX 1390. The first replay we have for you today is here on the highway, where we have one enemy light tank to contend with and no enemy artillery, and it is Tier 10 matchmaking. We are in a three-man platoon here with our good pal Swindle 321 and our friend Dark Ghost. And if you want to see the crew and equipment setup I'm choosing to run in the AMX 1390, you can see that at the bottom of the screen as we speak. But initially what I'm going to do is try and spot the cross here, and I hope to try and, maybe get some damage, but also try and get some assistance damage here. So we do spot an enemy heavy tank there. We get spotted for firing, but it works out okay because we pick up about 1,000 assistance. Right now you see me not moving. That is because I'm having to re-invite someone back to the party. So that's all what that is. And now I'm going to go back and continue to light this cross basically. Because anything spotted here, I'm going to be able to pick up the assistance damage for. So I am going to try and finish off this one-shot heavy tank to see if we can pick up the kill. We wasn't able to. We bounced, but we might get a second opportunity because I think he might actually be tracked in place there. Yeah, I'm guessing so because he's not moving. We bounce again, but we can actually finish him off finally, aim the shot a bit better. Get our clip away and pick up a kill, put us under 2,000 assistance and a tiny bit of damage. Now, I do want to keep that side detected, but I don't want to sit in front of those heavy tanks there on my left because basically they're going to get spotted, right? And I'm not going to get detected, but they're going to be shooting at them and I could end up getting hit because of that. So I have to be careful of that. It's making it awkward for me to try and spot, but I am managing to spot a few tanks there, put us on to about 2,500 assistance. And I guess the biggest threat for me really is this enemy light tank in the field, because if that tank gets taken out, I think it's an EBR I believe, then we're going to have free reign on this map and we'll be able to do a lot of crazy things because we're the only light tank. So that's the tank which I'm keeping an eye on. If that tank gets taken out, I'll be able to push a bit more aggressively. But for the moment, I am spotting these targets. And when the assistance damage is starting to come in, we just spotted a Tier 8 heavy tank in the open. There's a good chance he's going to take some serious punishment there. He actually does. He gets completely destroyed and we get all of his assistance for that spot. And that puts us up to 4,000 spot assistance already with about 500 damage. But we're all having a good game for a light tank, and this particular replay, the first one, is definitely more assist orientated. We play a little bit more like a traditional light tank. But as you say, I can't just push into the field at the moment because of that enemy light tank. He's going to be driving around like a nutcase. It's going to be a little bit awkward. So I'm just sort of ignoring him for the time being because he's not spotting us here and he's not a direct threat to me right now. So I'll just kind of ignore him. And he's playing on the other side. Now, if he pushes up to sort of the B7, I might push into the field. A little bit risky, but I will spot the enemy tanks. So you can see with our tanks pushing down the sort of JK line, that's going to give us an opportunity to spot and get assistance. Now, the enemy light tanks got taken out. This is why I'm now pushing aggressively and using these bushes to boost our concealment. Little bit risky because I'm in the open with not much cover, but at the same time, risk comes rewards because I'm able to spot these tanks and pick up some assistance. Already put me on to about 5,000. Spot a fresh tank, hoping my friendly tanks are going to be able to connect a few shots there. It's looking pretty positive for our team at this point. Like I said, trying to keep these tanks detected for as long as possible in the hope to pick up some assistance. Some assistance starts to come my way, puts us closer to the 6,000 assistance mark. I guess we've got a chance at a 10k assistance here if we're lucky. I'm kind of tempted to actually push down now and see if I can get a better angle to spot those TDs, which was in the lower ground. As I do that, I do actually get detected, so I need to run now. And now I'm thinking, oh, please don't hit me, nasty TDs. Please do not hit me. Typically, I'm hitting them on the move as I'm picking up a little bit of damage here. I need to get to this low ground so I am safe from those TDs. I am now safe, but the tanks behind me in the A56 area, if they turn around, they can actually put shots into me here. Thankfully, for the moment, they're not, so I pulled into this bit of cover to give myself a bit of protection. I'm going to try and dump my clip in that Arnie, but I get spotted and I've got an enemy E3 there, so I can't really poke like that anymore. But as you can see, I picked up 8,000 assistance now. Only 4 tanks remaining. I'm thinking, right, I know where 3 of the tanks are. Actually, I know where all of them are, because I know there's a grill around here. Let's just move in and take out the grill. First shot only does track damage, but he actually does eat a shot, I think, from our friendly teammate, which allows us to finish it off. And there's only 2 tanks remaining. We're on 9,000 damage, still got all our hit points. Now, I'm going to ram this E3. It's not a good idea, but I did it just for, it's the last tank left. What's the worst that could happen? Can I get the kill is the question. Is he going to get taken out by the enemy friendly team? No, I do pick up the kill. And we end up that with a really strong game, getting 9,000 assistance with 2,000 damage of our own. And picking up 3 kills for the good measure as well. We do pick up the ace tanker and of course the scout medal there. But that's it for replay number 1. But let's move on to the second and final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the second and final replay of the video. We are on Sand River and there is 1 enemy artillery to contend with and 2 enemy light tanks. Now we are platooned up with our pal Davvel this time, who is in the German tech tree heavy tank, the E75. Now initially I'm going to go and try and get to the dunes, see if we can spot any targets, pick up any assistance, and just get a bit of information on where the enemy team are playing, and then we can make our decisions based off of what we spot, basically. So our friendly Vigilante is with us here. Now that tank, it could come in helpful. We're going to try and blind fire some of these bushes. We don't have much else to shoot at. The enemy medium tank who's making an advance underneath our ridge, I'll be honest, that's going to be a nuisance for us because he's going to proxy spot us, and we're not really going to be able to deal with him. Because I know there is tanks in the enemy base, probably some nasty TDs, and we were just trying to blind fire him because sometimes you do pick up some assistance. It looks like our Vigilante is going to try and full send this enemy medium. I kind of feel sorry for the medium, but also I really need that medium to die, so I can't say I'm not glad. Unfortunately, the our light tank does get shut down, but the medium I believe is left on a 1-shot, and I'm hoping our friendly medium tank to our left is going to take him out. I see an enemy Zog crossing there, and it's not looking great for our team at the moment. I guess we are a couple of tanks down on the hit points as well, but at least with that medium in the middle ground got taken out, that's going to allow us to play this ridge line here. I'm keeping an eye on that heavy tank in the A4 position, because if he crosses, I want to get punishment in. But I'm thinking, at this point I'm not really doing anything. So far I've done nothing this game. I'm going to try and get into the middle and see what we can spot. See if we can spot any of those targets in the base. Have to be mindful of the fact when I get into the middle, I could get shot at by enemy tanks at A23 if I get detected. But I've got to try and do something. We've actually spotted a few targets on the ridge in the back, and we've started to pick up some assistance damage for those spots. This enemy Zog, surely he's going to get shot at. We try and track him in place. Unfortunately, we don't track him, but we do at least penetrate and pick up a shot of damage. And we're going to do our best to try and keep as many of these targets spotted as we can. We're going to try and get some damage into this Zog here. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite possible. Might be able to get a shot into the lighter tank though, which we do, putting them onto a 1-shot. Unfortunately, now we do get detected and we need to run because we are not safe. We miss, the enemy waffle misses. That was fortunate for us because we don't want to eat a big shot like that. It wouldn't be ideal. But I'm going to keep going back to spot because I can't really see where else I'm going to play at the moment. And I am spotting those targets in the dunes on my left. So it's a little bit risky, but also, when the assistance is starting to come in, I want to keep these targets spotted. We also have potential side shots, but it's going to be difficult to pen that tank over range. Keep an eye on this T30 he's got spotted in the base. Now, I'd love that tank to be taken out because he does have an awkward angle on us. Enemy F3005 gets spotted. We put 1 shot in, we put a 2nd shot in blind, but we have got to run because enemy light tank is full sending us here. This is not good for us. We got slapped by the enemy TD, maybe the T30 or the waffle in the base, and we were on life support. And I must admit, at this point, I'm thinking, game over. This light tank's going to keep chasing me. I'm going to get taken out here, but I'm not going to give up. I'm trying to escape. Thankfully, the light tank is, ran, and if we can lose our spot here, we are still going to be in the game, but not an ideal situation to be in, to be honest, with our 170 hit points. But We are still in the game. So far we've got 1,600 assistance, 900 damage. We haven't had an amazing game, but if you can see all the heavy tanks in the sort of G 3-4 area in the sort of riverbed, if we're able to win this side, where our friendly I7 is now, we can basically shoot down on them and create a cross angle. So that's my plan at the moment, because right now we are on 8 tanks to their 12, 24% hit points to their 50% hit points. So the game's not looking fantastic for us at the moment, but like I said, we're not going to give up. I've still got a strong platoon mate and his friend in my E75 there, and we're going to do all we can to win. But I really want to clear out this side. I'm grateful for our IS-7 coming with us, because maybe we can try and kill these tanks. If I can win this side, where this FV1005 is, then I can shoot these tanks in the riverbed. But time is not really on our side. We've now gone down to 7 tanks. I can't just push the FV1005 because it'll take us out. We got lucky to miss the gritter there, but we do the gritter missed us, sorry, but we do spot the gritter and pick up a little bit more assistance, which is nice. Putting us on to 3,000 assistance and 1,000 damage of our own. Looks like our IS-7's moving in on this FV1005 here. It looks like FV1005 splashes our E75. I'm going to try and help our E75 out the best I can. Should be able to finish off this tank here. We do. Well, our IS-7 finishes them off. Going to try and get a shot into the Gorilla 15 if we can. I want to try and keep my IS-7 alive for as long as I possibly can, because, well, I'm going to need him, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm also one shot to this Gorilla 15, so it's kind of awkward. Enemy light tank gets taken out though. That's good. That means I am the only light tank left. We've brought it back somewhat. We're now on a 7 versus 10. I'm going to try and get a couple of shots on this enemy tank in the middle ground, in the open. We get a shot in, we get detected for it. We need to be a little bit careful here. Now we're going to try and pull back, and as you can see, this game has been brought back. It's now 7 versus 8. Enemy team do still have double our hit point pool, but yeah, it's actually kind of turned around. It was looking pretty ropey for a moment there, but I don't know if some of the enemy tanks kind of threw their tank away in the low ground. But this game's gone from what was quite a bad situation to a good situation. We might be able to pull this off now. Now I do spot the enemy T30, but I don't really have great shots at him. He's hold down to me. I've got tiny shots at his upper plate, but the upper plate is going to be difficult for me to pen at this angle, and unfortunately our IS-7 gets taken out. Gorilla 15 does get detected though, and we connect with 2 of our shells. Unfortunately we leave him on the sliving of hit points, and he is still alive. Bring this down to a 4 versus 5 with about 3,600 damage, 2,000 assistance. Friendly Davfell in the C75 takes out a tank there, bring this back to a 4 versus 4. Now I'm going to see if I can catch out this enemy T30, because the Gorilla 15 has dropped down to the low ground, so maybe we can spot this T30. Our tanks might be able to shoot it. If not, I'll be able to connect a few shots in. I put 1 in, I put 2 in, leave them on 1 hit point. Typically 1 hit point. I couldn't have rolled for 1 higher to take him out, but I need to lose our spot. I can't really poke him when I'm detected. He's obviously going to be aiming at us. Now if we're smart, he could blind fire us here, but if he misses, I'll take him out. I should be able to kill him anyway. I need this to pen though. Please roll high enough. It does, and thankfully we get our first kill of the game. But it's under 3,600 damage with 2,400 assistance. Now I know exactly where the artillery is in the sort of E1 location. Now I'm saying to Daffer, well, if I go and spot this tank, this artillery, can you shoot him? But then as I move up, I've realised I've got rear shots of this heavy tank in the low ground. So I'm trying to get to a position where I can shoot him, but if he turns around and I do get detected, I can get into cover. Now I do unfortunately get spotted for that, which makes it a little bit awkward. The Gorilla 15 is still alive. At this point I have no idea where he's gone now. Then the Gorilla 15 does get taken out, and now this is good because we know the artillery can't shoot us. It's enemy heavy tanks in a little bit of bother, to be honest. We're putting a clip into him. We bounced one of our clip. Should be able to pen this over. He backs up how he's doing because of the angle. We do connect with that, put us under 3,000 damage and 3,600 assistance. Enemy artillery is going to be full health. Davfell's moving up to the ramp. Now he's going to have clear shots at the artillery. So I'm actually going to move in and go and spot this artillery. We can pick up some more assistance for doing so. And hopefully get round here so the enemy heavy tank can't shoot us. We spot the enemy artillery. We're not actually getting detected because of those bushes. Davfell should be able to shoot him soon, and then maybe put him on a clippable target for us. Moving round so he doesn't shotgun me. Yeah, I do pick up a bit more assistance here, and we should be able to hopefully finish him off. Unfortunately, I missed that shot, which is not really ideal, but he's a one shot to us. Well, he was a one shot to us. Missing that shot is kind of annoying because he's alive now, but thankfully Davfell finishes him off, bringing it to what, just shy of 4,000 damage now, just shy of 4,000 assistance. It's only the one enemy heavy tank remaining. We know he's only on about sort of 400 hit points at this point, so we can easily kill him in the clip. But I am a one shot, and Davfell is a one shot too, so I guess we do have to be a little bit careful. But being that he's only a heavy tank and I'm in a light tank, I should be able to outspot him quite comfortably. I've got the mobility to get around the map. Now he does get detected on the other side. I'm trying to move over. I don't think Davfell quite has a shot at him at the moment. Hopefully I can move around and try and get my clip in. It'd be nice to get over the 4k mark and try and pick up a kill here. He does get put onto 400 hit points now. I think Davfell might have landed a shot actually. So he is definitely clippable at the moment. It's just a case of me moving in. I know exactly where he is. I'm guessing our artillery might get taken out at this point. Unless our friendly artillery, our friendly fun police shotguns him. But I definitely don't want to throw this game away. You know, strange things happen. We could lose a 3v1 because he has killed the artillery. And both me and Davfell are a one shot here. So we do have to be somewhat careful, but at the same time I also want to get the kill. So I was just seeing if he was going to, I stopped basically in case he was going to turn around. If he turns around it would be awkward, but with Davfell spotting in there, he's obviously a little bit occupied. Might give me the window of opportunity I need to try and get my clip away. Now I will get spotted when I shoot, but if he pushes us I'm just going to run away. Yeah, I'll easily be able to run away. So get one of our shots. Well, we bounce one of our shots. We do finally connect with one. Now he's looking at us, so I can't poke, but Davfell's moving in. This is going to distract him. When he's distracted like he is now, I'm able to pop over and pick up the kill. And that brings us an end to the replay and the video. So thank you so much for your amazing support. And as always, happy tanking.
Hadouken!